What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. I do hope you are doing well. On the right hand side of the screen, you will see my niece's Race for Life little QR code. You guys have done fantastic in this already, but if you can and you haven't done so yet, you're under no obligation to, by the way, which I think is important to mention. Scan the QR code or in the link down underneath on the description, there will be a link. In the link, there'll be a link, obviously. It'll take you to her page on Race for Life for Cancer Research UK. Anything that you can give would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, under no obligation, but you guys have absolutely knocked it out of the park. Really appreciate your help and support on that. So thank you ever so much. Also, if you're not subscribed, please make sure that you are. Your notifications are turned on, that you are liking, hyping the video. If you're listening to the audio version of this, just make sure that you're following on either Spotify or on Apple. And just make sure that you're giving it a like for me as well. As I said, that would be greatly appreciated. Now, what I wanted to do was kind of bring a few bits and pieces together and just talk in a bit more of a general way with regards to sort of Leeds United and how everything is going on at the moment. So pretty fair to say that over the last 48 hours, there's been quite a big buzz in and around Ellen Road. The transfer links for us are heating up. Squad decisions are starting to be discussed. And some major talking points are starting to form. Like I said, what I wanted to do in today's video is break it all down into the latest Leeds United news, including the transfer rumours, squad planning, and one big debate that's really starting to dominate fan discussion. I think the important thing to discuss first, the first thing, is that Graham Smith put out a piece last night in the YEP in relation to our first game being away from home, and that he mentioned that we'd actually requested for our first match of the season to be away from home to give the redevelopment side of things a little bit more time to move forwards. But interestingly, one of the things that he has noted in that is that this will affect the friendlies moving forward. So it's going to be interesting to see how that transpires. We did talk about this. Obviously, we've got some games coming up at Ellen Road and just how that's going to progress and how we're going to do that relative to the work that's going to be going on at Ellen Road. So I'm sure the club will let us know and time will tell how all that's going to move forwards. Talking first, transfer activity and how that's now starting to build. Obviously, as we've seen over the last few days, the Leeds United recruitment team are clearly active behind the scenes. They're preparing for another demanding Premier League season. The focus right now is strengthening in key areas of the squad, especially midfield, defence, and the overall depth and the attacking side of things as well. There is growing attention on the goalkeeper situation, with the Leeds being linked to potential experienced options. We've heard there was the Nick Pope thing. There's also the Zion Suzuki thing as well. Nothing has been confirmed as yet, but the direction is clear. It's not just about survival anymore for us. It's about building a squad capable of long-term stability in the Premier League. One of the things that I've talked about, or one of the things that I've mentioned is how we're looking to raise the level of the squad and how we're looking to raise the overall ceiling of the squad. And the players that we have been linked with is looking like that's exactly what they want to do at this moment in time. Looking at the attacking link side of things, there's been increasing talk about adding creativity to the squad. Leeds have been linked with players who can unlock defences and improve chance creation in tight games. This is something fans have been asking for, especially in matches where Leeds struggled to break teams down. The recruitment profile seems to be shifting slightly towards a more technical, composed and ball-playing attackers. And that leads us on to the biggest talking points of the last 48 hours. So, the first thing to talk about is Al Tanaka and the Shea Charles. One of the most interesting stories right now, it does involve Al Tanaka, and I'll get to the reasons as to why. It's not because there's been a confirmed transfer or the fact that he's going to be moving away anytime soon. It's more to do with what's actually happening around him. Recent links between Leeds and Shea Charles have sparked a conversation amongst fans. Obviously, we put in the £20 million bid, which has been rejected, but talks are ongoing and talks are said to be positive. If you add in that as a potential signing, when you look at it, it does naturally lead to questions about Al Tanaka's long-term role. It also could lead to questions with regards to Sean Longstaff as well. Tanaka has been reliable, he's been consistent and an important part of the squad. But whenever new midfielders are linked, especially with the profiles like Charles, fans will start to think about how that progresses the squad, what it means for the squad, what it means for players. Does it mean that certain players are going to move on? Does it mean that certain players are going to be staying where they need to be? It's about thinking about the balance, the rotation, and also the future planning of the squad as well. Like I said, the Shea Charles speculation definitely created this talking point, and it'll be interesting to see how that progresses moving forwards. Squad depth, or the squad depth focus, is the next thing that's on there. It's another theme this summer. We talk about raising the ceiling of the squad, the demand of the Premier League, and the consistency across the season. It took us a little while to find that level of consistency last season. And what we need to make sure that we do is that we're moving things in the right direction. We were very, very lucky last season in terms of injuries, suspensions, and players not being able to play. And it wasn't until that we were confirmed as being safe within the league that when a couple of injuries started to come in, because the players just naturally, well, we are safe, so the bodies just tend to relax or give up, whatever you want to say. But it showed how thin the squad actually is. And it talks to me with regards to making sure that the depth is there. So there are players that can come in, that can cover on particular roles, that can play multiple positions. But when your starting players aren't in there anymore, they are able to fulfill those roles comfortably. So like I said, in some occasions, it's not just about signing starters. It's about bringing in players that can compete every week, that can put pressure on the starters, but also as well, if they're called upon, they do exactly what we need them to do. And it's almost a seamless transition, if you want to put it in that way, if someone new comes in. Fan reactions going on at the moment across social media and fan discussions. Reactions are mixed. There is the optimism that Leeds are building with more structure this time, more planning, more clarity, more direction. But there's also caution because fans know how quickly a transfer window can change, especially if player sales become part of funding new arrivals. The general expectation for that is simple. Early business, smart recruitment, and no panic moves late in the window. Big thing with this, and we've talked about it on a regular basis, it's about getting the deals done at the right time. So when you look at people like Harry Wilson, when you look at people like Brandt, those types of things, those types of players that are coming in, potentially, of course, I'm not saying that they're coming in yet, you are looking at getting these deals sorted out and done and not having happen what has happened to us previously, which is us losing out on particular players. That's not something that we want to see. It's not something that we want to happen. And hopefully the recruitment team are able to nip that in the bud. Hopefully the recruitment team are also able to make the necessary player sales that we need to make to either improve the squad or to get players out the door and get wages off of the books at the same time as well. So in terms of what's happening next, we know Leeds are working on the background, multiple targets across a myriad of positions. We're looking at midfield, defence, attacking reinforcements as well. We know how quickly things can move with Leeds United. We also know how slowly things can move with Leeds United as well. But in terms of things moving quickly, what you're looking at is it goes very, very quiet, and then just all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's happened and it's done. So with that being said, the next few days and weeks, I would say, are probably going to be quite interesting in shaping the direction that the club wants to take. And it will give us an idea of what we are looking to do next season. Summary-wise, we know what's happening. We know what's going on. We're actively working in the transfer market. The midfield and defence depth remain the key priorities for us. Attacking creativity, is being targeted. We know about the Shea Charles link and the confirmed bid that's gone in. That is being worked on. Talks are being positive. We know about that. Now, what I want to hear from you. I want to hear about what you think needs to happen in this transfer window Specifically, not players, but more specifically the team as a whole. Where do you think it's most important for Leeds to strengthen? Where do you think it's most important for Leeds to look to spend large portions of money to get players in, or to be really sensible and bring in free transfers? Brandt, Harry Wilson, that type of stuff. The Brandt thing, by the way, I just want to confirm my position on that and just say that that is very much a stretch target for us. And with the options that are on the table for him for next season, if we pulled that off, that would be ridiculous in my honest and humble opinion. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. It's going to do it for this one, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have liked the video, please don't forget to comment. Please don't forget to hype the video. Please also make sure that you subscribed and your notifications are turned on. If you're listening to the audio version of this, please also make sure that you are liking and following on either the Spotify or on the Apple podcast side of things. It's going to do it for this one. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Take care of each other. Most importantly, please take care of yourself, guys. Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. See you on the next one. Cheers.